Ladies and gentlemen, we have a bit of an issue going on, and basically it is the future of the realm that's at stake. Maybe I'm being a bit over dramatic, but the reality of the situation is that we currently have our crown prince sitting on his seat in Dragonstone, and the reason that this may have been a mistake is because Dany has canceled the betrothal between him and our only daughter, and has instead promised our daughter to our second son, which is fine, I suppose. We have a pretty good second son. He is zealous, he is patient, he is kind, and he is charitable. The issue is that in order to continue the purity of the Targaryen line, we really must marry our daughter to our first son. And so I'm stuck here in this sort of unwinnable situation. I have requested that my daughter be put under my guardianship here in Westeros, and Dany will accept here in just a couple of days as soon as we hit play. However, I really don't have any control over what Lord Aemon does. And my fear is that he will marry someone who is not High Valyrian and thus pollute the line. So I've come up with a couple of different solutions. I really don't have any way to force Dany into accepting a marriage. I'm afraid if I go ahead and press play, Lord Aemon will go ahead and marry just whoever he decides he wants to marry, which is unacceptable. And so really what we have here is sort of an issue. And what I've decided is I'm going to attempt to try to marry Daenerys Velaryon with Prince Aemon. And I don't know how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to try to figure that out. And the only reason that I'm going to do this is because they're High Valyrian. Yes, she's a Valyrian, and not a Targaryen, but it is probably the least unwinnable situation, I suppose. The other option is to maybe do where is it? Sweetport Sound and Westerosi Valyrian, but no, that won't do at all. It doesn't seem like they have any purity left in their blood whatsoever. There's also one other right up here. In Claw Isle, they're Westerosi Valyrian, the Celtigars. I mean, she at least has white hair, but she's down in Dorne. Her husband has perished. She may accept my invitation to court. Yeah, if she would accept my invitation to court. So really, if I can't figure out anything, I mean, I may end up having to do that. No, she's Sandornish. Yeah, I'm gonna run out of opportunities here. Basically, I would need somebody who is High Valyrian, which is really limited to the Valyrians and the Targaryens. And currently, it seems like the only female Valyrian is right there, Daenerys. So, there may be over there. Whoops. So I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I have no idea how I'm going to make this work. I've been thinking and going back and forth over the options in my head, and there's just no way that I can possibly do this without the console, or I mean, now that I'm playing an Iron Man, there's just no way I can't, jump into somebody else's body and do something really quick and then come back. I mean, Iron Man prevents you from doing that, and so it looks like we're just kind of stuck with what happens for right now. If you have suggestions about any possible course of action, leave them in the comments, because I'm at a loss. I don't understand. However, I did think about this. I mean, technically, we are currently 43 years old, which means realistically we have another 15, 20 years on the throne, and that would put our heir at almost 40 years old. And so maybe it doesn't really matter ultimately. I don't know. There's always a chance that we die somewhere along the way, but really, I think if we once we take over here, we can, father a legitimate High Valyrian person, an heir through Aemon. So in the meantime, I would like to be able to find a suitable bride, just to have somebody. The option is kind of as we discussed earlier, Daenerys Velaryon. She is 4 years old, but I really don't have any way to get her to my court because she's 4, and so there's just not a way. There's not a way to make this work legitimately. Even if she was in my dungeon, there's no way I could offer her in marriage to my heir. So it looks like we're just going to have to advance and see what happens and do more of a react instead of plan and scheme. So I hope that's okay with y'all, but that's where I'm at right now. You see, this is what I was really worried about, is that our younger son, or our middle son, would end up just kind of fizzling out, I suppose. And I think originally he was a lunatic. He got that dice roll, and he's kind and charitable and patient and zealous, but his stats are just not great. And so I think what I'm gonna try to do is sort of interfere with his betrothal a little bit. I'm gonna try to get him to my court. My oldest son has not married yet, so hopefully there's still hope. The issue is that pretty much once I cancel the betrothal between my middle son and my older son, I think Dany's going to propose the betrothal between Jaehaerys, our youngest son, and Rhaenys, our daughter. So it's an issue, and she's back in Meereen. What in the world? I need to be this girl's guardian. Dany's like our worst enemy in this playthrough. I don't know what's going on with her, but it's not good. Why does she have a negative 97 opinion of me? Is me requesting a word from her like stacking? Because that's ridiculous. There's no reason that it should do that. She also should not have a negative opinion of me for being a grandchild of incest, because she's a daughter of incest. There's no hope with this girl. No hope whatsoever. Okay, so the goal or the plan is to, now that my son is 16 and is awful, I'm going to... Where is he? Oh, so currently he's here. I think once I'm no longer his guardian, he'll go back to Meereen. I'll invite him to the court. Blah blah blah. Oh, yeah, he's at court in Meereen. So I'm gonna invite him to court. Wow. That's not gonna work, because he likes Dany. I don't even think I can send him a gift. I wonder if I can send him an artifact. If we send him the World of Ice and Fire, plus 12 opinion, and now we invite him to court, yeah. It doesn't matter. He's got a great opinion of me, and proving his opinion's not going to do anything. It's already maxed out. Yeah. Well, there goes that plan. Well, it would appear that I'm getting sick. We had winter fever start to spread in King's Landing, and I didn't think it was that big of a deal to shut the gates, but apparently this is happening. So we'll see what ends up with that. His extensive medical experience leads him to the certain conclusion that I'm developing winter fever. He insists you follow his instructions. Very well. To draw the illness out of your body, Grand Maester Miles covers you from head to toe in leeches. Cool. That's always nice. Oh, look. It's this event again. The late nights, the way my wife Daenerys has stopped touching me or even looking at me, and now the whispers of her and that vile brute, Captain Dario the Unworthy. I can't take it anymore. I'm going to confront Daenerys because both of us have a negative 100 opinion of each other. Both of us. So, we'll do it. See what she says. My wife Daenerys vehemently denies having an affair with Captain Dario and promises to spend more time with me. Well, that's good. I could reduce my opinion of them further and maybe gain depressed, or I could tip off Dario's wife, or I could pay to have them both watched. Let's do that. Seems like a good... During the last few days, my wife Daenerys has not been able to keep any food or drink down. It seems as if she's suffering from food poisoning. I'll call for the physician at once, I suppose. Ooh. Attorney of the Stormlands. You know, I'm really not gonna go for it. You feel as if you are burning up, and at times you have difficulties distinguishing between dreams and reality. You've contracted winter fever. Man. 65% chance of suffers in normal illness, 20% chance of mild, 10% severe, 5% becomes bedridden. Oh, sweet. A dragon egg from Rhaegal. Court physician Miles has come to see you and offers treatment for your illness. He explains that there are several different types of treatment he can offer. We can do an experimental treatment. Yeah, let's do that. You cannot believe your eyes when Grand Maester Miles pulled a severed hand from his satchel. The black spots on its fingers sent chills down your spine, and you demand to know where he got it from. He only hushed you and proceeded to rub the severed hand against your chest. How romantic, Grand Maester Miles. I feel amazing. So here's something I can do. I'm going to grant my middle son the dragon egg that I just got from Rhaegal, and hope he tries to hatch it and sets Marine on fire. It's not a bad thing to wish, is it? Ooh, my spies report that they caught my wife and her lover, Captain Dario, in flagrante delicato, in a glade near Giscard Point. Okay. I can either denounce them publicly or avoid a scandal. And I'm going to go ahead and denounce them publicly because this has been going on for far too long. I mean, Danny and I have been married for, what, 20 years? Give or take? And pretty much the entire time she has been having an affair with Dario. She wants to obtain a Valyrian steel sword. Well, I could have helped you with that. I really could have. Oh, she's a drunkard. Oh, now I feel bad. Not. Your delirium is lifted and your temperature is back to normal. You have beaten winter fever. Hooray. Knew it would be okay. Does that mean I'm immune to it now? Is that how this works? Just to check in on this gentleman, he's no longer an advisor for me because he apparently is incapable. I assume that's because of the cancer. The cancer has made him bedridden. And I don't remember if he had cancer to begin with, but he certainly does now. His son is actually not that terrible of a steward. Has 10 learning. Brilliant steward. Is betrothed to 14-year-old Ysilla Hunter. The hunter is obvious. Oh, she's a hunchback. That's good for you, bud. Good for you. It has 2 more daughters in the realm of House Mud. 11 and 4. The youngest being a bastard with Lady Paramount Megan of the Trident. So I suppose that was before they got married? Oh no, it's probably not his. Yeah. It's probably not his. Her and Commander Janos the Unchaste, who died from too much drinking. Sad day. Okay, so this is pretty interesting. Ariane, the noble of Dorne, sent me a letter regarding Lady Paramount Janae, who is one of the last remaining Lannisters. My king, many of your faithful subjects, myself included, feel that Lady Paramount Janae of the Westerlands has amassed more power and titles than is warranted by her station. If you were to kindly advise her to abdicate the High Lordship of Derry to a vassal, we know that this decision would enjoy our wholehearted support. So, I'm going to give a positive reply to that. I assume this is yet another poor attempt at humor, my liege. I shan't surrender what is rightfully mine. Wow. Charity doesn't like me, so I suppose we should just deal with that. A peasant accused of murder is dragged before your court. His wife and children were found butchered in a small hut they called home, and he was standing nearby, covered in their blood. Despite the damning evidence, the man continues to profess his innocence. What should be done with him? The peasant is hanged for his crimes. He's thrown into the dungeons. The evidence is circumstantial. Well, there's no other evidence, so we're definitely going to put him in the dungeons. Oh, a representative from the Iron Bank of Bravos is here, reminding me of that loan I did not take. I inherited. I'm going to have to pay the interest because, yeah, we're going to have to. Don't have much of a choice.